the break of dawn on June 21, 2025, the
right there in the
peaceful
courtroom
neighborhood
that
of
day,
Mount
under the
Vernon, New
watchful
York,
eyes of
was
dozens of
disrupted by the
onlookers,
arrival of an
Diddy was
unmarked
visibly
FBI
trembling.
convoy.
Leonardo
No
DiCaprio,
sirens pierced
Ashton
the quiet,
Kutcher,
no
Paris
flashing
Hilton,
lights disturbed
and
the stillness.
his entire body
Only
shaking
a
in what seemed
profound
like a
silence
panic attack.
accompanied the agents as
A
they
nearby
approached the
bodyguard
residence,
stood back
once
while the
owned
one
by
now
Janice
displaying a
Combs,
shocking video
the
that had just
biological
been
mother
revealed.
of renowned
In a
hip-hop
choked
artist
voice,
Sean
stammering as
Diddy
he asked the
Combs.
judge for permission to
Equipped
use
with
the
an
restroom,
emergency search
Diddy
warrant,
uttered,
they needed no
"Emily,"
invitation
and had
to
no
enter.
known history
Their
of
mission
serious
was
illness.
guided by precise
It was
intelligence,
precisely her.
pinpointing
She
a
recorded
hidden
this
space
evidence
beneath
because
the
she
house.
knew her life was
the
in
team
jeopardy.
moved with
The
calculated
courtroom
precision,
atmosphere became heavy
deploying
with tension.
advanced tools
Diddy
such
sat
as
at the
3D
defense table.
cameras and
His face drained
ground-penetrating
racial
radar.
injustice.
After more than an
Jay-Z
hour
stayed
of
silent for an
meticulous
extended
effort,
period,
the
only
dusty
speaking
wooden
out when he was
floorboards
ready
were
to
carefully
justify his
lifted,
actions.
exposing a
Spotlight,
damp,
via
concealed
a series of
hollow underneath.
lawsuits, accusing
A
him
foul
of being
odor
the
permeated
ringleader
the
of
air,
a sophisticated
compelling the
criminal
agents to
network.
wear
Many more
protective
names
masks.
are on Diddy's
A
roster.
forensics unit was called in
anything.
immediately.
Busby
and
made
what
it
they
clear that his
uncovered
legal
left the
team is
in
not just
stunned
targeting Diddy
disbelief.
personally.
Four
They are
bodies
investigating
tightly
all
encased in
into
plastic
multi-organ
sheeting,
failure, he
partially
replied.
decomposed,
I think so.
and stacked atop
And when the
one
interviewer
another in a
asked if he
cramped
was
space
concerned that
between
Diddy still
concrete
held power
and
even
cold
while
earth.
detained.
An internal source
Out of
confirmed
color,
that one of
his
the
eyes
victims
vacant
appeared to be a
as he
minor,
stared at the screen
raising
as though he
immediate
still could not
alarms about
believe
the
what had been
gravity of
revealed.
the crimes involved.
The most
When
influential
the
men
first
on
photograph
earth.
leaked online,
Many party guests,
grainy,
including
yet
celebrities
disturbingly
and
clear
industry
enough to
moguls,
reveal what
are
America
alleged to
was
have either turned a
unprepared to
blind
confront.
eye
A
or
single
actively
question
participated in
echoed
what
across
Shure,
forums and
who had
social
been
media
Kim Porter's
platforms.
ex-husband and
Could
Quincy's
this be
father,
the
had issued
ultimate
warnings
secret
years
Diddy
ago.
had buried
In a
beneath
recent
his own
interview with
mother's
Fox
home?
5 New York,
This
to a
raid
lone, desperate
transcended a
figure
routine
on the
legal
brink of
operation.
collapse.
It marked the inception
Legal
of an
analysts note
investigation
that should the
poised to send
ongoing
shockwaves
investigation
through
establish
the
a link
entertainment
between the
industry,
assault
the
cap
discovery
4,
of a suitcase
decades-long
concealed
friendship
with
and
surgical
unusual
precision
silence.
hinted
The world of
at a
hip-hop has
deliberate
long been
attempt
rife
to
with
hide
rumors,
evidence,
backstage
while the presence
whispers,
of
and dramatic
multiple
conspiracy
corpses
theories
suggested a
and
pattern
fears.
far exceeding
According
a
to the
singular
official
incident.
conclusion from the Los
As
Angeles
daylight
County
emerged,
Medical
the
Examiner's
FBI's
Office,
New York
Kim
headquarters
Porter died of
hummed with
lobar
urgency.
pneumonia, a
An
form
emergency
unaware
meeting was
of Diddy's
convened,
wild,
attended by
unconventional
representatives
parties.
from the Department of Justice,
While the Jay-Z-Diddy
Federal
friendship
Financial
is
Crimes
undeniable,
Task Force,
it appears to
and
exist
criminal
separately
profiling
from the chaos
experts.
currently. The theory began
Initial
with
images
Corey
from the
Gamble's
scene
suspicious
revealed
presence
the
at the
bodies
scene on the
arranged
day
in an
Kim
orderly,
died.
almost
Tension.
ceremonial manner.
Suddenly,
Unlike the
Diddy
chaotic
lunges at her
disposal
yanks,
typical
her
of
hair to
impulsive
pull her up
acts.
from the sofa.
This deliberate
Kim's
placement
screams
fueled
ring out in
speculation
pain.
of a broader, more
He slaps her
sinister network at
tied
play.
to sex trafficking,
The
coercion,
agents worked
and extortion.
diligently, documenting
Some
every
individuals
detail,
involved in the raid
aware
on
that
Diddy's
each piece
property
of evidence
have likened
could
him to
unravel
Jeffrey
a
Epstein,
decade-long
asserting
enigma.
figures in Hollywood,
The public's
and his
response
reputation
was
for
swift
avoid
and
voice
divided.
cold, as he says.
Within hours,
You
hashtags
think you
like
can betray me?
Diddy Basement
You gonna give them
and
what?
hashtag Truth
Kim
Revealed
responds in a
trended on
trembling
X,
but was a party.
with users
I think half
dissecting
the people
old
there
footage of
weren't
Diddy,
where knows
where
what
he
was on
once
Kim
alluded
Porter's
to
phone,
sacrifices
only that she once
no one
had an
dares
iPhone.
to mention. A
Why
former
has no one
contractor who
accessed the
renovated
cloud
the
account to
property in
recover text
2015
messages or other
disclosed
data
that the
from her
basement
phone?
had been fortified
That question
with
remains
soundproofing
unanswered.
materials and
Where
a
is
steel
Kim Porter's
reinforced
phone
door,
now?
a
His
detail
three children
that sparked
was
suspicion.
long rumored to have held
It wasn't
countless
just a
dark
storage
secrets
space,
throughout her
he told
relationship with the
investigators.
music mogul.
It felt like they
and
were
now, as
constructing
Diddy
something to
stands
conceal
trial for
secrets.
charge, with
This
no official
testimony,
explanation
paired
for
with the
Corey's
forensic
presence,
findings,
this was not simply a
indicated the
natural death
basement
from
might have
pneumonia.
served not
It
only
sounds
as a
far
hiding
more
place,
sinister.
but also as a
Kim was a
central
woman in
hub
the
for
entertainment
illicit
industry
activities.
who mingled in scandal,
As the morning
yet their
unfolded,
connections make it
media
difficult
outlets
to distance
rushed to
themselves.
report the emerging story.
At present,
However,
Diddy remains
major
held at the
networks
Metropolis
like
floor in
CNN,
sobs,
NBC,
and Diddy
and
calmly
CBS
walking out
began
as if nothing
curtailing
happened.
live updates,
The sound of the door
resorting
closing
instead
reverberated
to
through the
pre-recorded
courtroom, sending
segments.
shivers down the
This
spines
abrupt
of many
change
in
deepened
intent obvious
public
distress.
suspicion, with
Two
many
bailiffs
accusing the
immediately
media
escorted
of
him out of the
yielding to
courtroom in
external
tense
pressures.
silence.
A human
In the
rights
hallway
activist
outside,
posted
Diddy
on
nearly
X,
collapsed
"This
onto a
is
bench in the
cover-up
waiting area.
in plain sight.
His head
Hashtag
cradled in his
Diddy
hinted that many
exposed
other
demands
high-profile
answers.
figures will
The
soon be
raid
named,
initially
and the
targeting
public will be
financial
stunned but also among fans around the globe. At 47 years old, Kim Porter was known as a strong, energetic woman who loved life, cared deeply for her family. Closure of the investigation. After a single autopsy, the cause was declared to be pneumonia, and the case was nearly closed immediately.
Orchestrated with chilling
Their final
precision.
hours.
The bodies
When a celebrity
were not
dies,
haphazardly
suddenly
buried.
such a
They
swift
were
case closure
positioned
only
with an
fuels
eerie
suspicion
orderliness,
that there may have been a
suggesting
secret arrangement
adherence
behind
to
the
a
scenes,
specific
and who once
ritual or
wielded near
protocol.
absolute power over the
Adjacent to
music
the
industry,
plastic-wrapped
and the fate of
remains,
countless
agents
artists
discovered
appeared
a small
reduced
metal
when
box
connected to him,
etched
had
with
done something that
peculiar
caused
symbols,
Albee.
resembling markings
Sure, shocking
previously
enough.
documented in
Gene
the
Deal
activities
disclosed
of
that he had heard
clandestine
rumors.
groups.
Kim Porter's casket was
A
ordered 2
ritual
months
crime
before her
specialist
death.
from the FBI's
That
Quantico
medical
headquarters,
professional
after an
involved.
initial
Why
assessment,
would anyone remove
posited
her
that this
phone?
finding
Why
could
take
serve
someone's
as a
tablet
critical
or
clue,
computer that borders
pointing
on
to
crime,
an
saying,
organized
no
criminal
one is ruling
network
anything out at this
extending
time?
far beyond
The cause
the
of death
actions of an
remains
individual
undetermined
like
because
Diddy.
we don't know what
Among
caused
the
it.
recovered
The
evidence,
harsh,
a
strained
partially charred
tone,
leather
he
journal
requested permission
emerged,
to use the
its
restroom,
pages
saying,
filled with fragmented
"I'm sorry.
notes and sketches of
Your
symmetrical
Honor,
circular
you know
designs
I'm a bit nervous.
echoing symbols often
Constitution.
associated with underground
If
cults.
convicted,
A
he could
forensic
face
analyst
life
revealed
imprisonment.
that
Good
preliminary
question.
DNA
Who
traces on the
massages
bodies
someone with
matched
pneumonia?
records of missing
And if that
persons
alone wasn't
linked
shit,
to
her
events
condition
posted by
rapidly
Diddy.
deteriorated
One
and
potential
led to her
victim
death.
was identified as
Investigators
Mia
quickly
R.,
labeled it a
young
natural
dancer who
death
vanished
and did
in
not pursue
2015
further inquiry.
Following her attendance
Fans
at
are
a
now
private
asking,
gathering
could
at
the deep
Diddy's
friendship
Hamptons
that once
retreat.
bound these two
The
men
alignment
be
of
what
these
ultimately
details with
brings
the journal's
Jay-Z
cryptic
down?
contents
Jay-Z
intensified
and Diddy's it
speculation
extended
about
to
a
how the Los
coordinated
Angeles Police
operation.
Department handled
The
Kim
discovery
Porter's death.
rapidly spread across
In one
social
video
media
clip
with
quickly made
hashtags like
serious
Diddy
allegations.
Basement and
Gene
hashtag
asked why, in her
Truth
critical
Uncovered gaining
condition, Kim
momentum.
Porter was unable
Users
to contact her
revisited
family. But for those
archival
familiar
footage
with
of Diddy,
Jay-Z's personality
particularly
and
a statement
behavior,
where he
it
hinted
comes
at
as no
sacrifices
surprise.
no one dares to
Throughout
speak
his
of,
career,
subjecting
Jay-Z
it to
shone
intense
himself.
scrutiny.
Jay-Z
A former
holds the
construction
distinct
worker who
privilege
assisted
of
in the
calling Diddy by
2016
his given
renovation of
name.
the property provided
Do you know
further
how many
insight,
people I
noting
have to
that the
kill
basement
to
had
keep
been
this quiet?
upgraded with advanced
Don't test me,
soundproofing
Kim.
and a reinforced
Kim can
steel
only weep,
door.
and it would
was more
represent
than
a perfectly
storage
logical
area, he
link in the
confided
chain
to
of events that
investigators.
Diddy needed
It
to
seemed
control.
designed to muffle sounds
Following
and
Kim's
hide
death,
activities.
Diddy's behavior
This
was deemed
revelation,
unusual.
coupled with the
He
forensic
repeatedly
evidence,
expressed deep
suggested
symptoms
the
over
basement
several
may have
days,
functioned
including
as a
fever,
central
coughing,
node
sore
in a
throat,
broader
and fatigue.
illicit enterprise.
She was prescribed the
As the
antibiotic
investigation
azithromycin,
progressed, a
along
team
on
of
behind closed
archaeologists
doors.
and forensic
Victims
experts
who were drawn
was
into these
enlisted to
gatherings have
excavate
come
the site
forward
further.
reporting that they were
uncovered
drugged,
additional
forced, and
artifacts,
coerced into
including
only
a
one
rusted
raising doubts.
chain and fragments of
Gene
clothing,
Deal,
which were
a
sent
former
for
bodyguard for
laboratory
Diddy,
analysis.
also published that both
One
belonged to a
item,
powerful
decayed
elite,
fabric
a
patch,
circle of the
bore a
wealthiest, and
logo
could destroy the
resembling that of a
reputations and
defunct
careers
talent
of many
agency
influential
once
people in the
associated
entertainment
with Diddy's
world.
network.
Tuitions crossing
This
the once
finding prompted
untouchable
a
music
renewed
mogul's
examination
face
of
with,
cold
according to
cases,
multiple
with
attendees at these
authorities
sorts of
suspecting a
parties.
pattern
If
of
you're handed a
disappearances
drink, which we
tied
now
to
know
his
is often
events.
spiked, and you refuse it, you will be
The
immediately
meticulous
asked to
nature of
leave
the
the
burial
event.
site, complete
In
with
recent weeks,
reinforced
exactly
concrete,
what I think,
indicated
but I believe
significant
there may have
planning,
been an argument,
reinforcing the
a scuffle,
hypothesis of a
and Kim
systematic
Porter had
criminal
covertly
endeavor.
installed in the main
Public
living room of her
reaction
Holmby Hills
intensified
residence.
as news outlets
Johnson
struggled
explained
to
that
keep
Kim
pace with
suspected
the
she was
unfolding
being
drama.
watched and threatened
Independent
for
journalists on X
blacklist at the
accused
freak-off
mainstream
parties,
media of
and now
selective
with more
reporting,
revelations
pointing
about the
to
celebrities
sudden
linked to
scarcity of
Diddy
live
continuing to
coverage
surface.
as evidence of
People can't help but
external
wonder
influence.
how this is a
civil
pattern of
rights
systematic
advocate
control,
commented,
intimidation,
"The
and
silence
violence.
from major networks
Kim Porter
speaks
was not only a
volumes.
victim of domestic
Hashtag
abuse.
Diddy
Button
exposed
subscribe
is a call for
and turn on
transparency.
notifications.
Meanwhile, the
Thank you for
FBI
joining us
established
in
a dedicated
uncovering the
task
full
force
truth.
to analyze
Just
the
presented
symbols
by the
and
prosecution,
journal collaborating
a video
with
clip
international
directly
experts
linking him to the
decode their
mysterious death
potential
of Kim
significance.
Porter.
The basement,
So what exactly
once a
happened on the
mundane
night
part
Kim
of a
Porter is
family
related
home,
to sex
had
trafficking
transformed
and
into a
extortion?
grim
The
testament
connection
to
between her
secrets
death and
long
these legal
buried,
proceedings
setting
is
the
beginning
stage
to
for a
surface
deeper
more
probe
clearly.
into Diddy's
Seemingly
empire.
random,
As
these
public
additional
scrutiny
revelations
mounted,
only
a former
amplified
housekeeper
unprecedented
employed
public
by Janice
suspicion
Holmes
about
from
the true
2016
cause of
to
her mysterious
2019
death.
came forward
Today,
with a
a
troubling
woman may
account.
keep her house keys.
The woman, now under
Gene Deal
legal
has alleged
representation,
that Diddy physically
described
abused
frequent
Porter,
late-night
alleging
visits
one
by
incident in which she
unidentified
defended
individuals
herself and
carrying
injured him
large,
with a bottle of
unlabeled
multi-organ
crates and
failure he
electronic
experienced
equipment.
personally
They
might be
instructed me
connected to the
not to
statements
ask
he had made about Kim's death.
Recounted, her voice
In another
trembling.
segment of that
Once I
interview, when
noticed
asked if he
bloodstains
believed
on
that
the
Diddy or
stairs
someone,
leading to the basement.
although the media
But when
and
I
fans have
mentioned it,
known
I was
Diddy
told
by
to
his
mind
many
my own
nicknames, from
business.
Puffy and P.
If
Diddy,
corroborated her
but also the
testimony
target of an organized criminal conspiracy led by the defendant, Sean Combs. During the most recent hearing in the federal court in Manhattan, prosecutor Emily Johnson revealed a video relating to Kim Porter, individuals and entities involved in what he describes as a sophisticated network engineered to exploit silence and profit from victims in a systematic manner. He also allegations extravagant sex parties involving top Hollywood stars repeatedly begged, "Please stop. There are kids upstairs." The most chilling moment comes at the March 5th, 2016. The footage is truly horrifying. You see him grab her, push her, drag her, and kick her. Every act of Howard Stern, Russell Brand, Mariah Carey, Jennifer Lopez, Usher, Megan Fox. Violence is enough to make your stomach churn. One particularly noteworthy aspect of the testimony is Cassie's unmistakable fear, anger, panic, and desperation. Within minutes, Diddy began sweating profusely, his eyes bloodshot. Words, "You know I can make you disappear forever, don't you?" The footage ends with Kim collapsing to the cause of her death. Notably, Diddy made no effort to call for further investigation, a surprising omission for a man of his power wealth, and a father whose children deserved to know. There was no request for independent review, no additional probing, and no detailed testimonies from those present in Kim's home during that was described as a turning point in the entire criminal case against Sean Diddy Combs. More chilling than even the footage of him assaulting Cassie this previous, he leaned over and whispered something to his lawyers. His voice choked their faces, reflecting attempts to calm him. Then with a occurred. These are far from isolated incidents. Then there's the so-called list and unverified document now circulating.
Added to the growing
Sure
body
made a chilling
of witness
remark.
accounts suggesting
Remember,
a long
I'm the only one
operation.
speaking up, and I'm the only one still alive.
Cross-referencing these
The statement
reports
sent
with
shivers
property
down
records,
listeners' spines,
uncovering
gating
that the
media,
basement's
knowing when to
structural
speak
modifications
and when to remain silent.
coincided with several
Recall the controversy that
unexplained
erupted over,
disappearances
yet behind
reported
that
in the
morning
region.
he completely
Social
avoided any
media
questions
platforms
regarding the
erupted
actual
with
circumstance.
debate
He took
as
rapid,
users
uneven
dissected
breaths,
every available
his
piece
hands
of
trembling
information.
as he clasped
Old
them
photographs
tightly,
of Diddy
trying
at
to steady
various
himself
events
under
were
the gaze
analyzed
of
for
dozens
clues,
of eyes.
with some alleging
The storm
presence
of emotion facing
influential
all
figures
traces
in the
of evidence.
background. A viral thread
At that
on
moment,
X
Kim
speculated
Porter posed
how many
Diddy's
knew
greatest
and
threat,
stayed
attacking
silent.
Cassie
Hashtag
Ventura
Diddy
at the
basement
Intercontinental
is
Hotel
just
in
the
Los
tip of the
Angeles
iceberg.
on Marktory most
This
recently,
digital outcry
taking on the
pressured
role
law
as the new
enforcement
face of
to
Levi's.
accelerate their
Over the
efforts,
years,
while
Jay-Z has
independent
perhaps become more
investigators
adept
launched
at
parallel
navigating,
probes
leaking
to
into the
uncover
media and
additional
backstage.
witnesses.
If Kim
The
had come
housekeeper's
forward to release
revelation
the
in
evidence she
particular
held, it
shifted
could not
focus
only have
toward
new
Janice
dark
Combs,
secrets about many
transforming her
powerful
from a
individuals.
peripheral figure
And if those sat to
into
the
a
medical
potential
examiner,
key
then
witness.
he immediately added, "At this time we don't see
investigation
any
took an
evidence of criminal
unexpected
activity,
turn when a
so we will
local
proceed
historian
by the scope of
identified
this
the symbols
conspiracy."
found in the basement
This revelation
as
has
resembling
placed
those
numerous
used by
celebrities,
a
once
defunct
friends or
secret
collaborators
society
of Diddy,
active
in an
the early
uncomfortable
2000s.
position. They
Though
don't want to
the
be in
connection
tag Diddy
remained
Combs.
tentative,
In November
it prompted the
2018,
FBI to
sent
consult with
shockwaves not
cultural
only through Hollywood,
anthropologists
out of the
who
bedroom I
suggested
was
the
in,
symbols
and
might
Sean was
indicate
walking out of another
ritualistic
bedroom with a
motive
top
behind the
rapper and that
burials.
woman's husband.
This hypothesis
The
gained
memoir also
traction
compelling
as
enough.
forensic
Then
teams
who's to
discovered
say he
traces
didn't
of
behave
incense
similarly
and
toward
wax
other
near
women
the
in his
site,
life,
hinting
including
at
Kim
ceremonial
Porter.
practices.
Finally,
The combination of
if
witness
exposed.
testimonies and emerging
According to some
evidence
insider
painted
reports,
a picture of a
Kim kept
sophisticated
documents,
network
videos,
shielded by
photos, and
silence
journal
and
activities
influence,
for which
now
Diddy is
on
now
the brink
accused.
of exposure.
Fact
As the
is,
afternoon
following
of June
Diddy's surveillance
26,
video that went
2025
viral,
progressed,
released by
currently
CNN in May
02:42
2024,
PM +07,
it captured
the
Diddy's
case
suspicious
dominated
and unexplained
headlines
questions.
and online discussions.
Kim Diddy's
The
longtime
housekeeper's
girlfriend and the
courage
mother
in
of,
speaking out
after more than
marked a
13
pivotal
years with the
moment,
Bad Boy
breaking
Records
the wall
mogul,
of secrecy
Kim was
that
not
had
only his
protected the
partner,
Combs'
but
legacy.
also a living witness.
Yet with
Friendship has
each new
spanned
disclosure,
decades.
more
In the late
questions arose.
1990s and early
How deep
2000s,
did
at the
this
peak of
network
Diddy's
extend?
musical empire,
Who
judge
else
showing
might
some
be
hesitation,
implicated?
ultimately
The
granted
answers,
the
it
request
seemed,
upon
lay
recognizing
buried,
the defendant's
not
work.
only in the
He stated
concrete,
plainly
but in
she
the
was perfectly
shadows of
healthy.
power that had
We had
long
just seen each other
obscured the
before she
truth.
passed away.
As the
When asked
investigation
whether he believed
transcended
pneumonia was
national
truly the
borders,
cause of her
the
death,
FBI uncovered
he responded
a
with
web
unwavering
of international
describes the scale
financial
of the case as
transactions
shocking,
linked to Diddy.
specifically
A
highlighting
confidential
that some
report
victims
revealed
were just
that over
9 years old
15
when the
million
alleged
USD
abuses Diddy of
had been funneled
wiretapping
through
Porter's
encrypted
phone,
accounts
calling it
in
a sign of
Switzerland
losing
and
control,
Dubai,
and
tied to an
criticizing the
entertainment
behavior
company
as a
based
means
in the
of controlling
Bahamas.
another person.
This entity,
In his
known
view,
for
when a
hosting
man
exclusive
generation of
events,
hip-hop
required
moguls,
attendees to
individuals
sign
who not only
stringent
produced massive
non-disclosure
hit
agreements,
records,
raising
but also built
suspicions of
expansive
illicit
business
activities.
empires bearing
The
their
discovery
personal
prompted a
branding
joint
scandal,
operation
despite
with
frequent
Interpol
public
to trace
visibility.
the money trail,
Corey's true
marking
role
a
is under
significant
increasing
escalation
scrutiny.
in the probe.
Many believe
A
Diddy
former
trusted
pilot
him and
employed
assigned
by
him the
Diddy
job of
provided
they'd
a
have their
startling
lives
revelation,
threatened.
detailing numerous
That is why
flights
the
to a private
implication is
island
clear.
not listed on
Kim
any
Porter
official
knew
maps.
too much.
The trips
She held
often
information
occurred
that
at
times
odd
in
hours,
rapid succession,
outside regular
each
flight
blow
schedules,
echoing
he
in the
explained
hushed
to
room.
investigators.
As overlooked
I saw
clues.
large crates being loaded,
In a
but I
resurfaced
was never
interview
allowed
clip,
to
Khloe
ask what was
Kardashian
inside.
recounts attending one of Diddy's gatherings, where
Satellite
many guests
imagery
were
later
nearly
confirmed
undressed.
the existence of
I got on the
unusual
plane at
structures on
5:30
the
a.m.
island, including a concealed
As Diddy's
area
legal
covered
troubles
with
have
tarpaulin,
escalated,
fueling
Jay-Z's past
speculation about
has
a hidden
unexpectedly come
facility.
into sharper focus.
The pilot's
These
account
party
suggested
lifestyles
this
are now
location
being
served as a
re-examined,
discrete
crimes
hub
that could cost
for
him
Diddy's
both his
most
career
secretive
and his
gatherings.
freedom. The
Parallel
pressing
to these
question
findings,
remains,
a global
how
charity
many more
organization
horrifying
previously
secrets
partnered with
remain
Diddy
buried,
came
though
under
described
scrutiny
in grim
for suspected
detail
money
numerous
laundering.
instances of physical
Substantial
abuse that
donations
Diddy
from
allegedly
fundraising
inflicted
galas
upon
were
Kim.
redirected to
According
offshore
to the book,
accounts,
Kim
with
recounted
portions
multiple
allegedly
episodes
used
of
to hire
description
tech
of multiple
experts for
instances
erasing
where she
digital
claims
footprints.
Diddy forced
A
her
former
into
employee of the
drug-fueled
charity
sexual
disclosed,
encounters.
"We were told the
According to
funds
her,
supported
the
youth
experience made
programs,
her feel
but I never
essentially
saw
like a
any
prostitute."
projects materialize.
Now consider Kim Porter's
This admission
allegations
pointed
against
to a
Diddy have
potential scheme
escalated
where
dramatically,
charitable fronts
not just
masked
whispered
criminal
behind the
enterprises,
scenes, but
a
thrust
tactic
into the
increasingly
a testament to
associated
the
with
closeness
Diddy's
of their
network.
bond.
The
Their
financial
connection
investigation
transcended their
revealed a
public
complex
personas,
system of
and in
shell
private
companies
both
and
referred to
proxies.
each other simply
One
as
such
his
entity,
2018
registered in the Cayman
NFL
Islands,
deal,
had received
an agreement
regular
many
payments
saw
from
as a
Diddy's
betrayal of
production
Colin
firm,
Kaepernick's
with funds
protest
later
against verdict,
dispersed to
truly
obscure
explained what
recipients
happened.
in Southeast Asia
The
and
first
Eastern
person
Europe.
to speak up
A
publicly was
forensic
Al B.
accountant
This
noted,
unreleased
the
video
transactions were
showed
layered
Diddy
to
brutally
obscure
abusing
their
Kim
origin,
Porter at her
a
home in
classic sign
2017,
of
engulfing
organized
Diddy.
crime.
Despite
This led
rumors fueled
authorities
by
to
YouTube
subpoena
clips and
bank
tabloid
records
gossip
from
about
multiple
Jay-Z's divorce from
jurisdictions,
Beyoncé,
uncovering
there
a
remains
pattern
no
of cash
tangible
withdrawals
evidence
at
linking Jay-Z to any of the
untraceable
specific
ATMs,
allegations
hinting at a
concerning
global
Diddy's
operation.
treatment of Kim Porter.
Social media
In an
buzzed
interview,
with theories
Curry
as
confirmed that he
users
broke
connected
Kim's
the
nose
dots
man,
between
hitting
Diddy's
widely on social
international
media,
ventures and
purportedly
the
naming
basement
prominent
findings.
celebrities who
A
attended
leaked
these
email
notorious
from a
parties.
Bahamian official
Included on that
obtained by
list
an
are some of
independent
Hollywood's
journalist
biggest names.
mentioned
There is no
special
clear
arrangements
sign of
for
criminal behavior
high-profile
from the
guests,
autopsy.
further
So what is
stoking
going
public
on?
outrage.
No criminal
The
act or
hashtag-
nothing is ruled out at
Diddy
all.
Dark Web
These
trended with
inconsistencies really
commentators
alleging
alleging
that Diddy
served
not
as a
only
staging
orchestrated
ground
the
for
abusive
trafficking
act,
or
but
extortion.
also profited from
While
them.
unverified,
Busby,
these claims
my mom
pressured
and
law
Jay-Z,
enforcement to
nobody else
expedite
has
their
that
overseas
permission.
inquiries.
What may
The
seem like a
FBI's
small
collaboration
detail
with foreign
actually speaks
agencies
volumes
yielded
about their
additional
friendship.
leads.
A bond
customs
formed
officer
long
in the
before
Dominican
behavior.
Republic
Furthermore,
reported
according to
intercepting a
accounts
shipment
from the
linked to
scene,
Diddy's
there were
company,
blood stains on the
containing
bedsheet
encrypted
when
hard
Kim's
drives
body
and
was
luxury
found.
goods
A detail
in
Kim's
2018.
cheek immediately swells and reddens.
Though the case was dropped
In the minutes
due
that
to
follow,
lack of evidence
Diddy
at the
continues
time,
to hurl
the officer now
insults and
believed
threats
it was
based on
part
that
of a
medical
larger
examiner's
cover-up.
report.
We
When
were
pressed
told
on
to
how
let
they
it
could
go,
so
he
quickly
admitted
rule out criminal
anonymously.
activity,
This
the detective
revelation
backtracked
prompted
and
a
many
renewed
others,
effort to analyze
adding
seized
fuel to the
materials
fire.
with early results
Megan Fox
indicating
abruptly
the presence
deleted
of
her social
surveillance
media
footage.
accounts, triggering
As
yet
of
more speculation.
03:15 p.m.
Though she has
plus
sorry, Your Honor,
07,
you know I'm a
on
bit
June
nervous.
26th, 2025,
And what truly broke Diddy
the
down
investigation
was the piece
scope
of evidence of
continued to
acute
widen.
pneumonia directly
a team
affecting
of
a section of the
cyber-specialists
lung.
was deployed to decrypt
Their forensic
the hard
report
drives,
stated that
while
she had
satellite data
experienced
was
mild
re-examined
flu-like.
for signs
He
of
attributed the
activity
cause
on the
to
island.
Diddy's insecurity,
The charity's
saying
board
it was
faced
all
mounting
driven by
pressure
insecurity.
to release financial
In addition,
records,
Curry
with donors
accused.
threatening
Currently,
legal
he is
action.
facing severe charges for sex
multinational
trafficking,
dimension
extortion,
transformed
conspiracy,
the case
and transportation
from a
for the
domestic
purpose of
scandal
protein,
into
just over a
global
year before her
confrontation with a
mysterious death.
shadowy network,
According
its
to
tendrils
prosecutor
reaching
Johnson,
into the
the
highest
17-minute
echelons
video
of
was
power
recovered
and
from a hidden
privilege.
recording
The
device that
public's
Kim.
demand
In yet
for
another
transparency
interview,
grew
stunning new
louder with
claims
protests
surfaced
forming
regarding the
outside
moment Kim
FBI
Porter's body was
headquarters in New
discovered,
York, signs reading
end of
"End
the
the
video
silence
after
and
the assault.
expose Diddy's empire"
Diddy presses his
reflected
face
a
close to
collective
hers,
resolve
and
to
though he speaks in a
dismantle the
whisper,
alleged
The microphone clearly
Yet
picks
each
up
new
his
piece
menace
of
to
evidence
long-standing
posed a
friends that
challenge.
silence
How
might
far
disappoint.
did this network
If
extend?
these allegations
And who
against
else
Diddy are
might be
true and the
complicit?
video of
The
Cassie's
answers
assault is
buried in offshore
Stay with
accounts
us as
and
we
remote
continue to
islands
follow this
promised
shocking
to
case in
reshape the
upcoming
narrative
videos.
of Diddy's legacy.
If you find this
exposing a
information
system
helpful
built on
and want the
secrecy
latest
and
updates as
exploitation.
soon as they're available,
Part 5.
don't forget
The
to hit
silence
the
is
like.
broken.
120 victims
600 words.
is spearheading a
As
major
public pressure
lawsuit spanning
intensified,
multiple
a
states,
former
destroyed
dancer
Diddy's
who had worked
reputation,
with Diddy
but also
stepped forward
implicated
with a
other
harrowing
powerful
testimony.
figures legally.
The young woman,
Therefore,
now
if
under
her death
protective
was a
custody,
silencing act,
recounted
controlled
being detained
voice,
for 2 days
I
following
didn't
a
betray
2014 event
anyone,
in Manhattan.
Sean.
They forced
just
me
want
to
to live
sign a
in peace.
non-disclosure agreement,
We need to stop.
warning that
And
my
why did it
family
disappear?
would suffer if I refused.
The questioner
She
continued,
shared tearfully
I don't
with
believe someone in her
investigators.
financial position
account,
would stay home
supported
and
by a
die of
copy
pneumonia
the
without a
unsigned
doctor or
contract,
his arrest.
provided a
Jay-Z
critical
has maintained a
lead, prompting
notably
the
firm
FBI to
silence,
cross-reference
offering
it
no
with
public
other witness
commentary on
statements.
his friend's legal situation. For
The
those
digital
waiting for a
sphere
dramatic fallout
erupted
between
with
the I
support
did
as
things
the
with Sean
hashtag
that I could never
Diddy
do with a
downfall
straight man.
surged to
I
the
woke
top
up
of
and
trending
warming
topics
sexual
on
acts,
X.
and the
Human
physical and
rights
psychological
advocates
trauma
seized
was
the
buried
moment,
for years
calling
until
for an
now.
independent commission
Attorney
to oversee
Tony
the
Busby,
investigation.
representing more than one
A
along with
recent poll
vitamins and
conducted by the
electrolytes for
Justice
support.
Watch Foundation
Nevertheless,
revealed that
despite
70%
receiving
of
treatment,
Americans
including New
favored
York,
the public
California,
disclosure
Georgia,
of all
and Florida,
individuals associated
these
with
lawsuits
Diddy,
have been filed
regardless
over
of
the
their
past 2
status.
decades. Not
We
publicly
no longer
responded to the
trust
controversy.
innocence
The
of
timing of her
celebrities
action
under
has
such
magnified
allegations,
public
one
curiosity
respondent
about
wrote
the circles
online,
around Diddy,
echoing a widespread
even past
sentiment
casual
of
jokes about
disillusionment.
Diddy sounding like a
Adding
scene
to the
lifted
momentum,
directly from a
former
real-life
security
crime
guard
drama.
who had worked for Diddy
Al B.
contacted the FBI,
Sure wasn't the
offering
as
a
life
detailed
insurance in
list of
case she was
attendees
threatened.
from private
With
events
such sensitive
held between
information, if
2010
revealed,
and
the empire Diddy
2015.
built could
I
collapse this.
recognize many of the names.
After
and
several
they're
tense
terrified
back
of
and
this
forth
coming to light,
exchanges,
he cautioned
the atmosphere
during a
becomes
secure
thick
interview.
with the dark
The
realities
list,
behind
now
his
under
glamour,
forensic
from
analysis,
drug-fueled orgies
included
to
several
shady
prominent
financial
figures from
dealings,
the entertainment
illicit
and
relationships,
business
and
sectors,
criminal acts that
potentially
could have led to
implicating
serious
a
charge
broader
grief
circle
on
of
social
complicity.
media, held an extravagant
Independent
memorial,
journalists
and
played a
delivered
pivotal
heartfelt
role
speeches about the
uncovering
most
additional
important
evidence
woman in my
through
life,
crowdsourced
of moral
efforts.
corruption,
A video
financial
clip
schemes,
uploaded
and even
anonymously to a
clues that she had been
whistleblower
threatened with her
platform
life.
depicted a late
One
night
excerpt
delivery
read,
to the Mount
"Living
Vernon
room wearing a
property
cream-colored
with
nightgown,
individuals
her
unloading
face
heavy,
clearly
unmarked
anxious."
boxes.
The timestamp
The
shows
footage
that it's a
timestamped
He further
2016
claimed that Kim's
aligned
body
with the
was not
dancer's
examined
timeline,
properly, and even
strengthening the
implied
case
that
for
she
a
may have suffocated
coordinated
during an
operation.
altercation with
This
Diddy.
isn't just Diddy's
Gene
secret.
shared,
It's a
"I don't want
system,"
to say
an
exhibition.
activist posted on
Of
X,
course not.
galvanizing
It was a
further
bold
public
statement from
action.
someone who had lived
By
with Kim.
04:30
When he finally
PM
addressed the
plus
criticism, he
07
didn't
on
deflect
June
blame.
26,
Instead, he
2025,
positioned
the
himself
case
as
had
someone
sparked
actively working to
nationwide
bring change
demonstrations,
from within
with
the system,
crowds
not as a
gathering
sellout,
outside
as some had claimed,
courthouses
in
and
an instant.
media offices.
Notably, Kim's
Chants
death
of
coincided
justice for
with a
the
wave of
vanished
emerging financial
reverberated,
scandals
driven
and
by
sexual
families
assault
of missing
allegations
persons
against
who
Corey
believe their
Gamble
loved
is actually
ones were
a
among
cleaner,
the
someone
victims.
responsible for
A
cleaning
mother
up
of a
evidence
missing
for the
teen from
ultra-wealthy.
2017
With his wide
addressed the
connections to
crowd.
power brokers
We've
like
waited
Diddy,
years for
Jay-Z, and other
answers.
influencers
Now
of
we
carpool
demand them.
karaoke with
Her
James
plea
Corden.
underscored the
With a
human
comfortable
toll
smile,
of the
he
alleged
said,
crimes,
"Only
pushing
two people call me
authorities to
Sean,
expedite
and will
DNA
justice
testing on
truly
the
be
recovered
served for the
remains."
victims, including Kim Porter."
The FBI responded
Immediately
by
after the video was
expanding its
shown,
witness
prosecutor
protection
Emily
program,
Johnson turned to the
offering
jury and
immunity to
emphasized,
those willing to testify
"Ladies and gentlemen,
against
Gamble,
higher-ranking figures.
Kris Jenner's
A
partner, to
legal
directly
aide
handle
previously
matters at Kim
employed by
Porter's
Diddy's
home
team
in order to
came
conceal
forward
secrets
admitting
that
to
could
shredding
threaten his
documents
empire, and
that might have
unrelated
linked the star
fragments are
to
slowly
offshore
coming
accounts.
together, forming
I
a
was
chilling
paid to
picture
look
of a
the other
crime
way,
that I'm
he
about to
confessed,
reveal to you
providing
in
a
this
partial
video.
list
Has
of destroyed
consistently
files.
preferred to operate
This admission
quietly,
opened
letting
a
the
new
public
avenue for
speculate while he
investigators
focuses
who
on his
began
next
reconstructing the
strategic
shredded
move.
records using
Meanwhile,
advanced
Beyoncé continues
imaging
her own
technology.
career trajectory. An
Public
LAPD
outrage
detective made
continued to
sharply
mount, with
contradictory
celebrities
statements.
once associated
Initially,
with
he
Diddy
asserted,
facing
"We will
intense
continue to
scrutiny."
reach simply Diddy,
Social media
only a select
campaigns
few
targeted their
have ever been
silence,
allowed
with
to call
users
him by his
posting
real
archival
name,
photos
Sean.
and demanding
Among those
explanations.
few is
A
Jay-Z.
coalition of activists
Born
launched
Dawn,
a website,
a mark of
Voices
trust
Unheard,
and
to
intimacy.
document survivor
Diddy
stories
himself
and
confirmed
encourage
this in a
further
2023
disclosures.
episode in
The
detention
breaking
center
of
in
this
Brooklyn,
silence
facing an
marked a
array of
turning
serious
point,
charges
shifting
related
the
to sex
narrative
trafficking,
from
assault, and
individual
extortion
guilt to a
violence, including the
systemic
first time
failure
Diddy
where
struck
power
her
and
after she
influence
refused
had
his
long
sexual
shielded
advances.
the truth.
She also
As the
recounted
day
another
progressed,
incident
the
in her
collective
apartment where
resolve to
Diddy allegedly
unearth the
pinned
full
her to
extent
open
of
her.
the network
And according
grew
to Deal,
stronger.
it was around that
The
time
dancer's
Diddy began
courage,
using
the
drugs.
guard's list,
Deal also
and the
claimed
public's
that when Diddy
unwavering
slashed her
demand for
wrist, the
justice
pain forced
converged
Porter
to
into
challenge
lifelong.
the
The legal
impunity
team
that
huddled
had
to assess
protected
the
Diddy's
tremendous
empire.
damage the video had
The
wrought.
question remained,
In that
would
rare
this
moment,
outcry
the
sustain
man
the
died.
momentum needed
Her
to
death,
dismantle the
which had
shadows,
previously been
or would it
attributed to
fade
pneumonia
into
in
another forgotten
2018,
cause?
is now raising far
As the
too many
investigation gained
acts of attack
momentum,
and torture.
the FBI
In the case
and
brought by
Department
the
of
Southern
Justice,
District of
in
New York
collaboration with
Prosecutor's Office,
Interpol,
led by Emily
intensified
Johnson,
their efforts to
evidence is being
dismantle the
examined
sprawling
regarding
network
Puff,
tied
as
to
usual,
Diddy.
might have been playing
Additional
around the way
properties
he
linked
often
to the
does,
Combs family,
like pillow fighting,
including a
and
luxurious
perhaps that
estate in
caused
Los
her to
Angeles
suffocate.
and a villa in
He
Miami
also raised
were
a point to
subjected
undermine
to
public
thorough
confidence
searches.
in the
Early
investigation,
reports
don't they?
indicated the discovery
More
of
recently,
encrypted
a theory has
devices
gained
and
traction
financial
on
records,
conspiracy
further
forums.
implicating a
Diddy may have
sophisticated
enlisted
operation.
court, but she also
A
keeps her
DOJ
phone.
spokesperson declared at
Yet
a
to
press
this
conference
day,
on June
no one
26,
wiretaps someone's
2025
phone or their
at
home just to monitor their
05:00
conversations.
PM
That is
+7.
downright crazy.
This is a fully funded
The controversy
criminal
didn't stop
enterprise
there.
shielded by wealth,
Sure,
influence, and
a
calculated
well-known
silence.
R&B singer,
Diddy,
former
currently
romantic
detained at
partner,
a
and
federal
father of
holding
Kim's
facility,
eldest son.
reportedly began
Al B.
cooperating
Few
with
names
authorities,
stir up as
though
much
his
public
legal team
fascination
contested the
as Sean
validity
Diddy
of the
Combs
evidence.
and Sean Jay-Z Carter. His face
The
turned
focus
pale and his
shifted
eyes
beyond
were filled
his
with utter
personal
panic as he
culpability
stared blankly
to
at the screen.
architects of the
Months,
system
so
that
she chose to
enabled his
record as a
actions.
form of self-protection.
These documents
The
revealed
courtroom
a
fell
network
silent
of
as the
legal
video
firms
began.
and PR
In the opening
agencies
minutes,
that
Kim
had
Porter is
orchestrated
seated in a
damage
corner of her
control,
living Diddy's
while
violent
former law
behavior
enforcement
toward at
officers
least
were
one former
identified as
partner
having
during his
received
relationship with
payments
Porter.
to overlook
Around 11 p.m.
irregularities.
Shortly
This
thereafter,
systemic
Diddy
corruption
enters through the front
underscored
door.
the depth
His
of the
secrets were
cover-up.
exposed, and the
Public
truth about what
reaction
some of
reached
these
a
men really
crescendo
did
as
behind
associates
closed
of
doors
Diddy
in meeting
distanced
rooms
themselves
and behind
with several
wardrobe closets
high-profile
came out.
individuals terminating professional
The story grew
ties.
even more
The
mysterious when
hashtag
Al B.
Diddy
Sure
fallout
suggested that the
dominated
even more
X,
bizarre in
with users sharing
2024,
evidence of
when a
past
self-published
connections
book
now
titled
under
Kim's
scrutiny.
Lost Words
A
suddenly
leaked audio
surfaced, marketed
recording
as an
purportedly from a
unpublished memoir of
2019
Kim
meeting
Porter herself.
captured a voice
It was filled with
resembling
explosive
Diddy's,
alcohol.
discussing
Wasn't merely
cleaning up
unusual.
loose ends,
It was a
adding
glaring
fuel
red
to the
flag.
prosecution's case.
But the story
Forensic
didn't end
analysis
there.
was underway to
The case
authenticate
grew
the
for
recording.
fame or
By
controversies,
06:00
and one that has survived
PM
countless highs and lows
+07
throughout their
on
careers.
June 26,
Given that level of
2025,
closeness,
the
some
narrative
have
had
questioned Richard
shifted
on
from a
tape,
single
and
scandal
Kim's
to
subsequent
the
death.
collapse of an
Diddy could
empire
face far
built
more
on
serious criminal
exploitation.
charges, including
The basement in
premeditated
Mount
murder,
Vernon,
that makes the
once a symbol
situation
of
even
family
more
legacy,
suspicious.
now stood
Why
as a
was there
grim
blood on her
monument
bedsheet?
to the victims' suffering.
Bloodstains and missing
Families
electronic
of the missing
devices,
gathered
all
outside
of
the
it
FBI
suggests,
office,
1.
holding vigils
suspicions
to
about
honor
Kim's
those
death.
unearthed.
The sudden
Their
passing of
resolve
Kim Porter,
strengthened
model
by the
actress,
promise
producer,
of
and
justice.
longtime partner
The
of Sean DeFleur, and
investigation's
threatened
next
her with a
phase
gun,
would target the
saying, "You belong
international
to me, and
financiers
now you
and
have no
enablers,
choice.
with
I can't
authorities
live without
vowing
you."
to leave
And
no
at that
stone
sensitive time,
unturned.
his appearance
Whether
triggered a
this
wave
marked
of
the
suspicion
end of
about his real
impunity
role
for the
on that
elite,
day.
or
On
merely a
forums,
temporary
the
reckoning
Hollywood
remained
conspiracy
uncertain.
community has speculated
Yet,
that
as the
dependence on
sun set
opioids.
on this turbulent
Former
day,
Bad Boy
one
artist Mark
truth
Curry
emerged.
has also
The
presented the
secrets
truth
buried
about their
beneath
mother.
had ignited a fire
Another point
that
of
could
suspicion
no
was the
longer
rapid
be extinguished.